A quick service announcement. Make sure y'all go out there and vote. All right? Every vote matters and every vote counts.
So what's up, my peoples, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Motorsports. I am your host, The Big Ticket, here to talk to you about all things motorsports and motorsports related content. There are two versions of the show. There is an audio version. You can catch that on any streaming platform that you do listen to. I just found out that I am now available on Google Podcasts. Or you can head over to the video version on youtube.com. That's youtube.com/Tarig Waldron. That's TARIGWALDRON. If you want to check out the video version, I would definitely recommend it. That's where you get to see my pretty face, get to see my funny moments, get to see my silly mistakes, whatever. And possibly laugh along with me. You never know. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to hit me up on social media. You can find me on Twitter at TheBigTicket07, on Instagram at Tarig Waldron, same spelling. Now moving on to the show. Heading into the MotoGP, we have Fabio Quartararo, someone who at the point in this right here that I'm talking about was the leader in the overall championship points. There you go. In the overall championship points, practice, in the third free practice session, he had a big crash that ended up hurting his right hip. It was just a slight bruise. He was breaking into, I think, turn 13 or turn 14, and there he lost control and basically high-sided and slammed right down on the ground and went a good ways before actually stopping. This damn cat is... Anyway, yes, I have a cat. They're very intuitive. I forgot to close the door. He lost control breaking into a turn, and he slid a good ways before he actually stopped. Now, like I said, he comes away with a bruised hip. That's nothing serious. Well, that's what they say. It's nothing serious. His manager said that Quartararo should be up to speed and ready to go after a few warm-up laps. I will be talking about the actual Aragon GP, the first round, so we'll see how he actually did based off what they were saying here. Spoiler alert. If you don't know what the fuck I just did, head over to the YouTube version at youtube.com/Tarig Waldron. You could actually see, you know what I'm saying, the visuals and shit. I totally recommend actually checking out the stuff on YouTube. And if you actually can't, sit there and listen and actually watch the show, you can listen on Apple Podcasts. And then that's when you would listen, Oh, he also had another crash in the opening practice on Friday and had apparently a bruise on his left hip. So he seemingly is running through a whole lot of issues, and hopefully everything is going to be able to come back for him. But like I said, I know how that goes. Another thing, Valentino Rossi tested positive for COVID-19. He did miss the Aragon GP, the first round, and honestly, he will probably miss the second round, simply because of the fact, you need them 14 to 21 days of isolation, and then from there you need further testing. I'm not really sure what his condition is right now. Obviously, a lot of people don't know what his condition is. If you jump on my table, I will fight you. Don't do it. My cat trying to jump on the table. But he missed. He will be missed. He did miss the Aragon GP. He had went back home to his family in Italy. Italy, as we know, was hit hard by COVID. And let go of the cord. What is wrong with you? He was hit hard. Italy was hit hard by COVID, and after he went back with his family, he said he wasn't feeling the greatest. I think he had a slight fever or something of that nature, and then he underwent some tests, and that came back. Stop it. And that came back positive for COVID-19. Now he has become the first MotoGP rider to actually test positive for COVID. There's the Moto2 rider, Jorge Martin, however you say his name. I am not their father. I am not their parent. He also tested positive for COVID-19 a while back, and he had to miss, I think, Misano and whatever else was around that time. Now Rossi says he will be following, all his medical advice and hopes that he will feel well soon. And I'm sure he'll be monitored closely by medical staff simply because he's Rossi and he's like 41, 42 years old, something like that. Hopefully, that's pretty young, but just heightened conditions that need to be paid attention to, and it's okay. I really hope he'll be okay. So get well soon, and definitely cannot wait for your return to the GOAT, Rossi. Get well. That's just my bag. I don't know if he listens. Anyway, now going to the Aragon GP, the first round. Okay, we see. I don't know what we see. I'll be honest with you. We see Alex Marquez really showcasing that he can hold up to that Marquez name. Obviously, he's done that in Moto 2. He's the Moto 2 fucking world champion. But now he's stepping into that MotoGP world. I don't want to say it's completely different, but it's kind of different. So he's stepping into that MotoGP world, and my boy, oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this shit. I can't wait to talk about it. Fabio Quartararo, he was in pole. He was in the pole position. He did finish off from the qualifyings with the best time. Simple. Okay, cool. And with that, people expected him to perform on the actual race day. Now, Fabio, at the start, suffered in the first few laps. Right at the start of the race, he ended up running wide and running off track. He fought back on, and I think he came back in third with that, with Vinales in first. That didn't last long. I promise you that didn't last long. He quickly lost places after place after place after place. But the Suzuki boys, their chase down and their race pace is by far the most immaculate. That's facts. I don't care what anyone says. That's straight up facts. Their race pace has shown that they are not only some of the greatest, but can perform and be the best on the field, on the track, damn near every single time. The reason I say that is because these guys start off in like 6th, 7th, or they might start off in like 8th, 10th place and work their way up to 2nd before even halfway through the race. Their race pace is immaculate. And I know that they're going to be able to use that later on, and I feel, Mur is going to be, he's going to secure the bag. He's going to secure that world champion title. I'm just putting that out there. Mur, make it come true. Got to speak it into existence. Them Suzuki boys, man, I want to see them succeed. But continuing back to the race, Vinales was leading. Then Alex Rins was pouncing and covering wild ground on Vinales, and he actually did, and ended up passing him. Okay, Alex Marquez was also making moves, and he overtook everyone. I believe he started in 12th or something like that, or 13th place, and was just overtaking and just doing everything that he had to do and showcasing that he is holding up to that Marquez name, which was fucking like it's immaculate to see someone talented like that. In the last episode, I did speak about the fact that I said I'm not exactly sure how he would be when guys were able to showcase their full potential on an actual dry track, that they could just focus on just racing and have the proper tires necessary, that they're comfortable racing on soft tires that are just able to deal with the output. They were fine. Track temperatures were around the 80-degree range. That's really not a problem, but he did start off on, I believe, medium tires. Most other guys start off on the soft, so late race his grip is going to hold up a little bit more than theirs. But that's besides the point. Making moves, Marquez starts closing the distance. He made his way all the way up to 4th. Okay, at that time, Johan Mir is in 3rd. Marquez passes Vinales, who had since fallen into 4th. Vinales was in 1st place, got passed by Rins. Then he got passed by Mir. I believe he had a little slip up that allowed that to happen in the first place, but passed altogether, and he is now in 3rd place. And Marquez creeping his way up and deleting any chance Vinales has to create some type of distance, and closes in, overtakes him, no problem. All right, 10 laps to go, and it's Suzuki, and LCR Honda. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Marquez is attacking and showcasing his skills. Like I'm trying to say, his skills. I know I said the competitive edge is gone, but this boy is showcasing that he is here for the big bucks. He's here for that big thing. And I feel like if he was here if he was probably here for like, if he was in MotoGP for a long period of time, like if he was in MotoGP at the start of the season, at the start of this actual, season, that's correct. At the start of the season, he most definitely would actually probably be in contention for world champion. Simply because I feel coming out of Moto 2, knowing what it means to be a champion, knowing how to push to be a champion as well, is also an effective driving force behind you. Like, you know exactly what you have to do. You know how much you have to put down. Obviously, this is MotoGP now. It's a different level of, I don't want to say power, but yeah, power. It's a different bike, different style of bike, different style of racing, but still racing all together. You know what it takes. That's why, like, if you compare it to football or basketball, you see NBA teams that built this team, and they may not have succeeded this year, but they're not trading nobody away because they know they're going to continue to go far again next year, or they might have won a championship, and now you're going to see them, if they don't trade or anything like that and everybody stays healthy, you're going to probably see them go that far again because they know what it means to be a champion. They know what it means to get to that fucking level again. Where was I? Hold on, let me check my notes. Okay, boom. So Marquez in third, Rins is in first. Rins was putting down everything he can to defend. Honestly, Marquez had ended up getting up into second place and cutting through Johan Mir, who is now in third, and he was trying to pounce on Alex Rins, but Rins was able to hold off. Marquez had a little mistake, I believe a little braking mistake, where he might have braked a little too hard because he was going super aggressive into those turns, trying to actually pass Rins in the final few laps. But he couldn't pull away with it. But this is now his second podium. He's now consecutive from his debut to his whatever secondary debut, whatever you want to call it. He is now double podium in his first two races. Fucking immaculate. Props to Marquez. Johan Mir comes in second, and that ends up making him the number one spot on the World Championship point grid. He's now number one. Quartararo has now dropped into 2, and Fabio, who was first, Fabio Quartararo, who was first in the actual points, was 18th in this race, which ended up dropping him down to now second overall. That was a good fucking race. That was a good race. Props to Marquez. That's something that I want to see him continue to do, and I know that if he was here at the beginning for next season, I know for next season he's going to be able to pull off some crazy shit. He's about to be just as dominant as his brother was, or as his brother is, because his brother's just out with an injury or something like that right now. So, I mean, when they come back, I would love to see them two brothers battling. That would be by far some great action to see, and definitely some insightful racing. And honestly, I listening to like broadcasts or something like that, the broadcasters and the media people talking, that would be hilarious. Not hilarious, but that would be like some groundbreaking hype. Like, oh, Marquez, like you can't really decide, you know, Alex, Mark, oh, they bump, you know what I'm saying? It would probably be so fucking exciting to listen to that commentary go on. Commentators, that's what they call it, not broadcasters. Moving over to the IMSA, we stepping away from the motorcycles because, well, we're not really stepping away from it because we're going to end up coming back to it later. But IMSA, talking about what am I talking about? IMSA, talking about the Road Atlanta, Michelin Road Atlanta, okay? I'm not gonna recap that entire race because that was 10 hours long. I'm not doing that. Honestly, I didn't really watch it. I watched a little bit, and I selected specific clips and specific stuff to watch and get the actual details that I was looking for. Just going for All Out Auto Racing. They actually fulfilled with their debut in IMSA in Road Atlanta, their local, I want to say track. That is kind of their local track because that is where they're housed. All Out Auto is housed in Georgia. Of course, their sponsors helped them out a lot to actually fund and actually get them into the race. And honestly, they were doing fairly well, in my opinion. They were showcasing that they got the balls and that these drivers have the necessary skill to be in this competition. Now, they were running in like the top 10, and Gino Manley had some contact with another car, and that broke a shock. Now he had to pit, other car came out. This was a 10-hour race or whatever. They fixed up the car and was able to end up finishing in a position, but not other car came out. Either way, they were, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They were in a very good spot, showcasing that they had great skill and that they can perform the way that they need to actually be in contention for something, and ended up having a little issue, a little contact that fucked up something in the car. Now, that's bad. Obviously, they didn't finish in the position that they wanted, but decent talent was showcased out there, and proud of those guys. I don't know them, obviously, but this is their real racing debut, and I can see them going a long way based off of it. You know, say driving in the top 10 in the IMSA GTs. Come on now, that's pretty talented, if I had to say. I might do a full dedicated race recap video, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. There you can actually see this other style of content that I'm finna add on. I'm also going to talk about that later, so stick around. Supercars, Australia, the 1000 or the Bathurst 1000, whatever the hell it's called. The grid is set. I'm not sure if the race actually happened. I wasn't paying attention. But they are looking to the future with supercars. Now, on one of the previous episodes, I did talk about electric cars altogether, but now we have this stuff going electric. The supercars going electric. This is the Bathurst 1000 is like the final round of the supercar shit anyway, so just throwing that out there. Holden is discontinuing its cars, I believe, or is discontinuing its something. GM is discontinuing Holden or something like that, and the Chevy Camaro is now in place to replace Holden. But that's not what I'm talking about anyway. Generation 3 or Gen 3 cars have battery packs now, or at least they have space for it. New cars, obviously, they will be continued to be powered by V8 engines. Now, what they're trying to do is move to a modern, cost-effective V8 engine that is going to be, well, like I just said, modern and cheap. Rather than the traditional push rod ones that they have now, they're trying to move into something that's way more, that's, I don't want to say simple because it might be actually more complex, honestly, but they're trying to move away from the old V8s that they have now. But the chassis for the Gen 3 is going to be hybrid ready. Okay, what that means is there is a space, a cavity left for battery packs that, you know, introduces that houses that hybrid system, that houses that hybrid mechanism. Okay, now they have yet to form an official policy on, you know, the actual hybrid system. They're trying to figure out what the usage of it is actually going to be. So there were some ideas thrown in the wind, like when you're in the pits, you would switch to the battery power and end up using that in the pit lanes, or what you would also do is like a push to pass type thing. So you would initiate the system, and that would add like maybe another 10 horsepower or 15 horsepower, whatever, and that would allow you to pass opponents. Obviously, other opponents would have the same thing, so it's not like it's going to be unfair. That's just where their heads are at for the moment. Now, these decisions, I feel as though they're a little bit late with this hybrid movement, especially for the supercar style of stuff. You know, these things have already been established. These things have already moved to like different econ style stuff. Obviously now this stuff is trying to be made into more performance oriented, but they're a little late to the game. They're a little late to the ball game. But by now I feel that they should have either already had these hybrid systems in place, or should have been going full electric by now. I don't think that they would ever go full electric. These are supercars, and mainly American style supercars. So we're expecting muscle cars, V8 engines. We're expecting loud roars, and we're expecting deafening sound. We're not expecting whines. That's not what we here for. I think they should just stick with the fucking V8. Obviously, yes, you can upgrade the V8 and whatnot and do whatever. I guess you can implement the battery pack and create a policy for it and all that stuff, but nobody's really gonna give a shit. That's probably not gonna be used until maybe 5 years down the line when it actually becomes a regulated thing. Right now, I don't see that happening. I think they're trying to do this by 2023 or 2022, something like that. I don't think it's gonna really matter. The fans' opinions on this, I am a fan, so that was my opinion. Other fans, I'm almost certain they don't like it either. Some people have expressed their ideals to me on Twitter and stuff like that. They've talked about they should have just stuck with different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Having conversations in the threads and all that stuff. They should have just stuck with different things, or they should just stuck with what they have rather than trying to do this hybrid bullshit, to quote some people. Sticking with this hybrid stuff though, WRC is introduced, no, not WRC, Jesus. FIA is introducing hybrid systems in their Rally 2 cars. But there's a big difference from what supercars are doing and what the WRC is doing. Here's why. These are for the Rally 2 cars, right? The FIA has already have stuff in place for the Rally 1. The Rally 1 cars that are just full performance built electric systems. But for Rally 2, what they're doing is implementing common road car stuff that you'll find in regular cars that you buy. Like, I don't really know any hybrid cars. I drive a car from fucking 2000, but not 2000, 2003. That's my main. But damn, I really can't think of no fucking hybrid cars right now, like a Toyota or something. They're trying to use, or they're not trying, they're going to implement by what looks like, let me just see where I got it at, 2023, they're trying to implement new hybrid systems into the Rally 2 cars. But it's not going to be performance kitted. It's going to be stuff that you would find in regular road cars that normal people drive. That's the difference between FIA, WRC, and supercars. Supercars is trying to do something that they should have done a long time ago, while WRC is not only doing hybrid, they have certain goals like reduce emissions, what are the other ones? Cost management, and of course, like every other company, they're trying to go for a greener future. But this is way different because it's trying to bring regular road car technology into the motorsports world, which to me is some of the most, that's how racing started. Racing started with regular ass road cars, or well, I should say racing started when the second car was built. Okay, it's just that competitive edge of, yo, I'm better than you. All right, now this right here is literally something that a common person can have. That's why I feel the connection is way better than what supercars is doing, because supercars, that's going to be, you know, fully implemented. Rally 1 is going to be going into this full performance built systems, but the thing is, Rally 1 is a different type of competition, or rally in general is a different type of competition from supercars. From supercars, you expect that loud roar, you expect all that shit. Rallying, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Rallying has that variability that they can utilize, and I think this version of hybrid systems and stuff like that that the FIA is implementing in 2023, I had to check my notes, that's quality. That's good. That's a good direction that they're going in. Supercars, fuck y'all niggas. Anyway, but sticking with this electric shit though, for real, a lot of companies are doing new kind of innovative stuff. Okay, talking about the new car, the GMC Hummer EV is being revealed. It's showcasing the all new, all electric, zero emissions GMC Hummer EV on 10/20/20. on October 20th, 2020. I will actually be doing a full, I guess, reaction video, to this on my YouTube channel, for the actual showcase, and we'll be putting that up on there. So go check that channel out, subscribe. And if you want to have any like type of conversation about the new electric cars that are coming out, obviously, who the fuck cares about Hummers anymore? But it's gonna be crazy, man, seeing, you know, an iconic vehicle like that go electric. That's something that you gotta watch. Hopefully it is, you know, going to be exactly what I expect of, you know, still gonna have that same, not body, but it's gonna have a revolutionized chassis, but still paying homage to the original Hummers. Hopefully it's not like a small ass H3, which honestly I don't think a lot of people liked, more like the H2. That was a better version. And another thing, the brand new Escalade. This, I don't really know if this is advertising for the Escalade or whatnot, but I'm not really sure if this is hybrid. I guess not really, but they have these innovative, okay, air quotes, new dynamic fuel management systems that varies the amount of active cylinders. Okay, they say it helps with optimizing performance and efficiency. So basically, this system can, the car itself runs on a V8. Okay, this system right here could basically turn that V8 into a V2. Okay, it can change those types of things based on the conditions of the road, how the driving is done, what type of driving is done, those type of situations. And it also features some other new innovative components, like some curved wraparound LED display or whatever. I'll insert a clip, something. I had seen the ad on Twitter. Damn, my bad. I had seen the ad on Twitter, and it looked dope as shit. I love Escalades. I'm a Ford Expedition guy though, because that's what I drive. And I also want to get the newer version. So, you know, I am a fan of Ford, but Caddy, that shit look good. Now we're moving to Moto America. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just want to take a quick look at it. Not going to really recap all the goddamn races, because we don't have that type of time. Technically, I do. Nah, we're not doing that. I just want to talk about Cam Peterson. Cam Peterson has won his first Moto America Stock 1000 championship at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because he has been dominating this entire season. He has been winning countlessly. Okay, this is his 7th win in a row. 7th win in a row, consecutive. One right after the other. That's what he's been doing, and he's been showcasing that he is going to continue to dominate. But he had a penalty for exceeding track limits, which actually put him in 2nd. But that's first, bro. He's first. They just trying to stop my man, but he first. And either way, he's still first in the overall standings and the point standings, all that stuff. So first place. I think Kyle Wyman was trying to chase him down in the final turns. That didn't come out well, because Kyle Wyman didn't catch him. But Wyman has been elected this win, but I still put it as Cam's 7th. Now Cam continues to dominate. I think the only time he had a really bad stint was at Road Atlanta with Moto America, where he placed poorly. But with what he's doing now, he's showcasing that you always need to keep your head up and you always need to keep moving forward. That reminds me of the fucking cartoon. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, clip. I'll probably insert one. I might not. I might not. I don't know. Depends on how I feel in editing style and editing life, whatever. But another thing, moving away from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I just want to talk about the Drag Specialties King of the Baggers. That's coming whenever the hell they get into Monterey or Laguna Seca. I think Laguna Seca is in Monterey. Man, whenever the next thing is, this is like the season finale, and it's going to have King of the Baggers, sponsored or hosted or presented by Drag Specialty. Now, the Trask Performance entry. Oh my goodness, Trask. The only reason that I talk about the Trask Performance entry If you want to actually see the clip of what they actually plan on entering, head on over to my Instagram at Tarig Waldron. There you'll find the actual clip. It'll be on like an IGTV video. The only reason I know them is simply because of the fact I watch other content. You know what I'm saying? I watch other stuff on YouTube rather than, you know, just nonsense. So I've watched some of their builds. I've seen other people speak on them as well, and it's not just Trash Performance. Obviously, I think it's like 18 people that received the invitation. What the Drag Specialties King of the Baggers is a open invitational from Moto America to these other performance companies. You send them the invitation and they build a performance bagger. Now these, remember in the last episode I described exactly what a bagger was. A big tanking ass motorcycle with some bags on the sides, on the back sides, and just 1 second. I'm talking with so much vigor, my mouth getting dry. But I honestly cannot wait to see this shit, because in my experience, I've seen like Dyna Bros, Bagger Bros, stuff like that. Those guys being hooligans, not hooligans, I should say hoonigans. Hooligans, being hooligans and doing, you know, stunts and stuff on these bikes, wheelies. That's about all I've seen, honestly. Wheelies, some drifting, some donuts. Nothing crazy, but like to go knee down and all this stuff and race these shits like they're actually super bikes, that's something I don't see all the time, and that's something that I really want to see. So if you want to see that it's not the bike, it's the rider, if you want full proof of that, check into this shit when it comes out, when at the next event, whatever. You might have to get like the track pass or something like that to watch it on whatever TV or whatever, but I think it might be on FS1 too. It might be or it might not, I don't know. But just head over to Moto America, you'll find all the details on it, like motoamerica.com or whatever. Yeesh, sorry, I hit my mic. But that's where that's what I'm hyped for. I can't wait to see that shit. I want to see these bikes go down and slide and curve and all of that. And obviously these are high performance and they're custom built and all that stuff, but I want to know what happens to those bikes after. Like, do they go up for sale, or can they be given away? I bet you that'll bring so many fans. But like, hey, whatever the winning bike is going up on auction, or whatever the winning, or whatever after the end of the race, these bikes are being, I doubt if they'll be given away. These companies invested wild money, so there's obviously going to be something. But I'm sure, like if they were to add something like that, like one of those bikes get given away to some lucky person, best believe I'm gonna be there. If I gotta be there to put in the entry, bro, catch me on a flight, or I'll drive down there, something. But definitely check into that Drag Specialties King of the Baggers when it actually comes into fruition, or I guess when the actual race, when the actual event happens. There you go, boom. Now I am in the last couple stages of this episode. Like I said, everybody ain't got the time to be sitting here for no hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. That's something that I personally don't like listening to. Yeah, I might go back and do it if I actually had like a guest or something like that, but if I don't, I try to keep it within that 45 minute to 55 minute range. Try to keep it under an hour, but try to keep it a decent length. Anyway, I'm just gonna go over a quick thing on my content. Motovlogging. Yeah, I'm about to try and do that. I'm not actually gonna try. I am definitely going to do it. I just purchased all the necessary gear. However, I do live up north, so right now it is October. It is getting very fucking cold. So riding season might be ending, but if you're a true believer, riding season never ends. Obviously, when the conditions don't allow it, yeah, I'm not gonna ride. But if I can, I will. You know, get some heated gear, whatever the case, and go that route. So I will definitely be doing that. So head on over to youtube.com/Tarig Waldron. there, you're gonna find these videos coming very, very soon. And by very, very soon, I mean like in the next week to next 2 weeks. I will be shouting this stuff out on my Instagram. I will be shouting this stuff out on Twitter at the Big Ticket 07. Go follow me, or just go check the page out. Something. That's where you will find the updates on this content. So I definitely recommend that you go there. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, simply because of the fact of that's where the stuff is going to be uploaded. So if you want to get that high end, or at least my brand new level of content, head on over to youtube.com/Tarig Wardron and definitely subscribe. Now I will be actually doing a full video on the style of content that I'll be doing, maybe. I'm still debating on whether or not that's actually something to do, or should I just start up on a motor vlog right away. So definitely just check into my social medias. That's where you'll find all the updates and stuff like that on the motor vlog shit that I'm about to start doing. I'm adding way more content to the channel, baby. The channel is meant for motorsports, sim racing, motor vlogs now, and of course my podcast. So welcome to the channel. If you're watching, subscribe. Last thing, possible name change. Now I'm gonna keep this quick. I have thought about possibly changing the name of the show, simply because obviously it was Let's Talk Cars and now it's Let's Talk Motorsports, but I never really looked up Let's Talk Motorsports before. Obviously I am Let's Talk, like I fully am the only Let's Talk Motorsports, but there is a other show called Let's Talk Motorsport, or whatever the fuck they do. This isn't me shouting them out or nothing like that, but I'm just trying to figure out if I should change the name of the show to kind of step away from that similarity. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. If you made it this far in the actual podcast episode, head on over to my socials, head on over to YouTube, whatever, comment, leave a message or something, and let me know, man, what you think I should actually do. You know, let me know if there's some ideas that you have. I'm trying to come up with a name, but it's difficult because I have other stuff on my mind. Anyway, on the last episode, I talked about inclusion. Hold on, let me just let me wet the palate. Shit, I'm thirsty as hell. But on the last episode, I talked about inclusion, and I also talked about why more companies should be including diversity. But now it's going to be a little bit more personal of why is inclusion important to me. I have some questions and stuff laid out for myself, so you might hear me restate them, basically. So why is inclusion important? Why is inclusion important to me? Simply because, for one, not a lot of people that are like me are included in certain motorsports, basically. Yes, we are, like, it's not like we're like not allowed or nothing like that. It's just the fact that most people are not, I don't want to say interested, but they don't think that that's where they belong. They don't see that type of representation. Okay, diversity is important to me because of the fact that I want to see representation. I want to see different cultures come together. The motorsports industry goes out to various diversities, people of various backgrounds. So I feel as though people of various diversities, people of various diversities and various backgrounds should be represented in these kind of stuff. Obviously there's, you know, there's Hispanic stuff that's on there, you know, like in Formula 1 and stuff like that. There's different, sometimes there are eras of cultures being represented, and there are, you know, different styles being pushed through, like you know, Bubba Wallace in NASCAR, Lewis Hamilton in Formula 1. Then you have people like Sergio Perez in Formula 1 as well. I believe he's Mexican. I believe. And those kind of people that are actually showcasing that, but I want to see way more. I just want to see way more. Now, how do we improve diversity, companies? Start with these programs that you have. You know, me, I just finished doing my AMA membership stuff, and I will be actually purchasing a bike later on. I will be purchasing a actual bike that I plan on using specifically for just track. And you know, obviously honing skills and doing whatever's necessary. I'm gonna be basically amateur, but I will be setting up GoPros and all that stuff to document the entire process and the entire field of and journey that I would be going through. Not 100% sure when that's gonna happen, but it's going to happen. I'm speaking it into existence now. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where you'll find it. But different programs that allow, or different programs that are in different areas that'll get that notoriety up in the various cultures. Okay, I feel as though that needs to be something. Advertisements for these programs, advertisements for these races. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see these types of shits on TV and all like that. Obviously, a lot of people ain't watching TV anymore, but I don't know if you guys are necessarily pushing that social media marketing the way that you should. But y'all got the teams and all that stuff. And finally, representation. Get some people that look like people, that are interested and actually value the motorsports, to talk about it, to participate in it, and to have fun with it. And last but not least, another way to improve is for any listeners of various cultures who have ever in their life been interested in motorsports ever. Check into it. Like, fill the ranks, apply for jobs. All these things you can do to become, or to not become, to be able to fill that lost space of diversity in motorsports. Me, I've applied to a good bit of places, and this I'm talking about recently. Okay, I'm talking about like very recent, because I'm trying now to get into the media aspect of the motorsports world. I mean, yes, I want to actually drive some of these cars and do those things, but media, videography, creation, that's where I'm at right now. As time goes by, I'll probably end up, trying to use my stain, trying to use whatever reputation I have to actually get behind the wheel of something, and actually ride something. But until that time happens, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. So go out there, find that interest, find these programs. I want to make a video specifically designated to just these programs that are actually available, that you can find, and these actual companies that you can find and fill out memberships for and participate in. And once you have the necessary tools, that you can actually execute a career in motorsports and stuff like that. When I actually have all the pieces to that, there will be a full video dedicated specifically to just that at youtube.com/Tarig Porsche. I shouted that shit out so many times this episode. Oh man, wonderful. But that's it, man. That's it for the show. That's it for me. That's it for all this here. Oh wait, actually, I'm setting up my my regular helmet right here. I'm setting it up for my motovlog stuff. Now, I just have a couple of questions. Well, not a couple of questions. I just have a couple of things that I should point out. I'm trying to figure out if I should put it here or I should put it in the front. Obviously, I feel as though I should put it in the front, but I got to get like specific mounts and stuff like that. I just have this stuff and a microphone for the most part. But when I get that stuff, the view will change. Y'all will see that, just to show you that I actually am fully invested in this. Where is the GoPro? Oh, it's in the same spot. Just to show you that I am really invested in this, and I will be doing it. Motovlog videos coming soon. I will put that down. Yeah, motovlog videos definitely coming soon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is the best way to support the show. That is the best way to support me, I guess, in this endeavor. So, this has been Let's Talk Motorsports. I am with your host, the Big Ticket 07, or the Big Ticket, aka Tarig Waldron. That's moi. If you want to see the video version of this podcast, head on over to youtube.com/Tarig Waldron. That's TARIGWALDRON. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy, leave a comment still. Tell me why. What can I improve on? If you want to talk to me at all, or if you want to see updates on the motorsports world, or updates on the show, or updates on anything I have going on, head on over to my social medias. And if you want to find the links, if you head on over to my social media, it's in my bios. If you are on the YouTube, link in the description. And if you are listening to the podcast, links will also be in the description. Copy and then paste. Peace.